Tonight we begin with the killing of a man who became a legend in his own time, John Lennon, shot down in cold blood.
It was just before 11 p.m. on Monday night, December 8th, 1980, when John Lennon was shot dead outside his New York apartment. A lone gunman, Mark David Chapman, fired 4 bullets into Lennon, 3 in his chest and 1 in his arm, as the legendary Beatles stepped out in front of the Dakota with his wife, Yoko Ono. Lennon was then rushed to Roosevelt Hospital in the back of a police car with Yoko.
By the time John Lennon was rushed to the hospital, Yoko Ono was said to be hysterical. All she said to the police officer who drove her to the hospital was, "Tell me he's alive."
I was sitting in front of my TV set, getting ready to watch the 11 o'clock news. I got a call from Miss Sato, and she said something like, "Dr. Lynn, we've gotten a call from the police. They're bringing in a gunshot wound with no vital signs. I think you should come back."
Police officer ran up to the doctor and said, "We have a gunshot hit in the chest." Doctor said, "When's it coming in?" "It's in the door right now." At that moment, the door slammed open. Stretcher came wheeling in. Police officers, 6 to 8 police officers trotting alongside. They pushed him right into the room that was right next to me. A number of doctors, nurses ran inside, closed the curtain. One cop turned to another cop and said, "It's John Lennon."
I began to say, gosh, could that possibly be John Lennon? Being a person, I'm saying to myself, impossible. You know, people like that just don't get shot. Brought to Roosevelt Hospital.
Because I had been caring for a ABC news producer because he was riding his moped, small motorcycle, in Central Park, and he had injured his back. And in fact, even though I'd gone home, he was still there, and his stretcher was literally right outside the door of the room in which John Lennon was cared for.
I decided that we had to do something about it, so I had one of the security guards actually wrestled him, and we moved his gurney out into the hallway. He wasn't too happy about that, and he still jumped up and went out into the waiting room to make some calls.
And it was one of these calls that tipped the ABC newsroom to break the shocking story during Monday Night Football.
John Lennon, outside of his apartment.
Sportscaster Howard Cosell made the announcement before the hospital's official press conference.
Just his entire chest, just red. And at the time, it looked like to me at that time, it looked like the doctor's hands were actually inside his chest.
I took his heart in my hand and I massaged it to see if we could restore some effort, some cardiac function, but it was too late.
And at 22 minutes after 11, the Muzak played the song All My Lovin'. The song ends, and about a minute or two later, maybe 25 after 11, a woman's voice begins to scream, "No, no, oh no."
I said something like, "We've been working very hard. We tried, but in spite of all of our efforts, your husband did not live. He's died." And her immediate response was, "No, tell me it's not true. You're lying. I can't believe it. He can't be dead. We were just there. He was alive." And this went on for what me, at least, felt like 5 minutes.
The worst was finally confirmed about midnight.
John Lennon was brought to the emergency room at the Roosevelt site, St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital, this evening, shortly before 11 p.m. He was dead on arrival. I don't walk through strawberry fields that frequently, but I walk through strawberry fields and I have the same sense. I have a connection. In death, he looked almost nothing like he looked in life.
Beatles were like massive to us, so I think they reach out to so many different type of people, including kids, adults, nans, granddads, so that's what's so amazing about them.
My parents, my grandparents, everybody, my whole family listens to the Beatles now.
The music, I mean, we didn't grow up to it with it, we were introduced to it, but it still, touches us in the same way as if we had.
I suppose I'm really into him and the Beatles because my dad has passed that down, and I'll pass it down to my children.